Hey everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Bar podcast. I'm your host, Anissa Tova. And today we are diving into the world of music with an incredibly talented artist, Abigail Virginia. Hailing from Springville, Alabama, now making waves in Nashville, Tennessee, Abigail's soulful tone and I have to say, heartfelt storytelling have already made her stand out. So, from also breathtaking TV debut to viral social media hits, she's a force to be reckoned with. Abigail, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
You know, we spoke a little bit. And you really, 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 really inspired me, and you have such an incredible journey of resilience. I cannot wait to dive in. So can you share how your upbringing and early influences really shaped, who you are today as an artist, your musical style, and then what motivated you to relocate to Nashville?
Yeah, so I'll try to make this long story super short. I know that, we previously had talked about it. So a lot of people, what they don't know about me is I grew up playing sports. I was the athlete kid. No one really knew I sang a lot. I was always scared to sing in front of people. But my mom, on the other hand, she got me screaming every single day. Um, and so I did that for a long time. And I didn't really know this concept of writing songs. No one did that in my hometown. There wasn't even a lot of restaurants to do gigs. I didn't even know there was a lot of gigs going on. That's just how small-minded I was. And once I got to college, I went to Muscle Shoals, and that is just the music history there is insane. Y'all don't know, Fame Studios is there, and Aretha Franklin, yeah, recorded there. I mean, in Allman Brothers, you name it. So many incredible people. And I was in those studios starting to write with people and record, and I had no idea how cool of an opportunity that was. And so it's funny, like I feel like I had this innocent thing about me. I was just doing music because I loved it, and I was just being really true to myself. And so luckily I feel like the innocent thing of not knowing all that as a kid kind of helped me into now. And so just being like truly authentic myself when it came to writing and the friends I had met and all those things. And around that time during college, I started posting on TikTok as well and got my first viral moments. And I was like, "Oh, wow, like, I could do this thing, like, it's obtainable," and so I just started going full at it. I started posting covers and just silly videos and then eventually, songs that I started to write with those people, in Fame and songs I just, wrote by myself as well. And, during that time, also, there was, my friend Lily Glenn, she's amazing. If y'all don't know her, check her out. She, created this festival for the Muscle Shoals area, and so she brought a lot of big artists, songwriters to come down to the Shoals area, and I met this guy named Anthony Smith after, like, an after party type thing, and, he had said that he worked at Porchlight Music Publishing, and I was like, "Oh, this is my in. This is my in to get an internship in Nashville." And so I just bugged him. I got his email or number or something, and I bugged him for months and was like, "Hey, I need an internship for the summer." And he ended up, you know, well, it wasn't even that simple. I needed like 40 hours a week or something crazy for it to
Yeah.
count for 2 months. And yeah, he didn't have enough hours for me. But he was like, if I run into somebody that needs an intern for the summer, I'll let you know, and maybe you could do like a double internship. And that's what happened. He literally found somebody 2 weeks later. Her name was Kelly, working for Pickle Jar. And she was like, I need an intern. And he was like, well, I got just the
Oh,
girl. And then within a month, I moved to Nashville. So that's really
wow.
what brought me here.
You So, you said you started writing music. So going back, to your childhood, who inspired you, to do that? Was there somebody in your family? I mean, there's so much that's packed in there. Like,
I know, and
how did you
it's
get
hard to
there?
say it all. I mean, I literally came out the womb just screaming. My mom was like, "You have never stopped screaming since you came to the world." And like And I think I told you, but, she was like when I was, like, 8, like, somewhere around that age, my mom said I looked at her and I said, "Mom, I'm gonna wear crowns and sing on stages." And so I just had this feeling since I was a kid that I was supposed to do this, and it's never went away. Like I never grew out of that. You know, a lot of kids they have these big dreams and they grow out of it or whatever, but for me I'm like, no, that's what I want. I didn't know how to get there. I was so again, I was oblivious to the hard work and all the things that it took to really be in the music industry just from where I was from. But I knew in my heart that's what I wanted to do. And then since I started walking through those doors per se of opportunities, they've just completely came so wide open. You know, if you want something, you can go get it. And so I don't know. I think it's initially it was me, but then I've definitely met people along the way. Like my mom doesn't know anything about music, but she's one of my biggest supporters. And I think you have to have people
Wow.
like that in your life that encourage you to keep going, even though you might not know how. So
Yeah. No, you're right. You stayed open and there was something in you, sound like an instinct and a lot of fire really as a little girl. Um,
oh
you
yeah.
know, the path yeah, and but the path to success, sometimes you have to navigate challenges and roadblocks. Um, what was that like for you?
Yeah, so, my high school and growing up experience was incredible. I really had an amazing childhood overall. Um, and going off to college, I kinda thought it would be the same way. I'm like, "Oh, it'll be so much fun. I'm gonna make friends, and it's gonna be this, this whole thing." And I got to college, and I won't go into too much detail, but I had something happen to me and it really crushed me and I became super not myself, very outgoing and friendly and all these things. And not that I wasn't that, but I just became such a shell of myself. I started to isolate. I had a lot of anxiety and depression. I just honestly just hated myself at the time. And it was like just a total 360 of how my life had been. Um and that happened for a long time. That happened I mean, it was throughout COVID too, which I know a lot of us, struggled during COVID too. I mean, that didn't help.
Yeah.
And it was probably like a 2 or 3 year thing. And that was part of me moving to Nashville as well. It wasn't just the internship. It was I wanted more for myself than what I had been living in, shame and all these things. And I wanted to let that go, and so I did a couple things I know we talked about. I signed myself up for Miss USA in
Yeah.
2022, and then a couple months later, I moved to Nashville, and then I wrote a song I just released called "Set It on Fire," and it's all about that thing that I was living in, and I wanted to like set it on fire and let it go and work towards a goal. And for in Miss USA, that was it for me. Which people are like, "What do you?" That's a crazy thing, but it really helped me. And
Wow.
yeah. So I know there's a lot there, but
Let's go back to it because whenever you're going through something, you have to tap into something. You have to tap into something within you to pull yourself out of it, and that is not easy. Um, and so for you to so it's almost was it that the Miss USA was it because you sound like a driven person who needs to have, the next step.
like,
I'm gonna go to the next
yeah,
step and I'm
I needed a
disciplined enough.
goal.
Was that Yeah, exactly. Was that part of your journey to heal and get out of that state?
100%. It for me it was yeah it was a goal of healing. It was like challenging myself and because you have to you are
Yeah.
physically challenging, mentally challenging. You are putting yourself with women who are also incredible. That's a vulnerable state, you know what I mean? People who really
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody's got their life together that's at Miss USA, but those women, I mean, a lot of them are, in business, they are
Mhm.
actors, models, they are going after their dreams and I wanted to be like that, and so I think I was like, I want to be surrounded by women like that. I want to have a big goal like this and, make myself uncomfortable. And so I did
Hmm.
that. And I mean, it's been one of the best decisions I ever made for sure.
So it sounds like your songs are infused with your personal experience. um, which it makes it so, so, so powerful talking about, powerful songs. You your TV debut, basically, I Can See Your Voice, that was oh my god, that was a pivotal moment, earning, like, a
Oh, yeah.
nationwide recognition. What was that like for you, and how would you say it impacted your career?
So, yeah, again, that part of that was because I moved to Nashville. I have a lot to thank for Nashville and a part of me making myself uncomfortable again. Um, it could have happened anywhere, but I think partly because, I put myself in a position like that, I started reaching out to people. And so how that kind of happened was I saw a casting director, his name is Josh, and he's a good friend of mine now. And I saw that he posted looking for people to try out for Idol. And I was like, "I'm your girl, like, here I am."
Here.
And yeah, here I am. And so I had
Yeah.
tried out, on a Zoom call, and I didn't hear anything back. So I was like, "Okay, I've tried out before, they ghost you, didn't make it." But then he messages me, "Hey, by the way, I think you would be good for this other show, though, called I Can See Your Voice."
Wow.
And I was like, "Okay." And oh wait, I need to backtrack a little bit. I actually like was kind of weird. I did a little bit of stalking. He was like in Nashville too at this time when he posted it. And I like made it a point to be where he was at and meet him in person, which
Cool.
is crazy. I know that seems crazy,
Resourceful.
but I was like, there's something about you seeing somebody in real life. And
Yeah.
so I wanted him to just make a face to a name. So I really think that helped me as well to get
Mm.
this audition. And so a lot of that was me going for it, and me just putting myself out there. And so that's how I kind of landed the gig. I mean, and then, I did some tryouts. I actually didn't get to try out with songs I picked. They told me songs they wanted me to try out with. And so I was living in a box at the time. Like I literally didn't even have a closet. So I was like going to my car to record these videos, and this like little bathroom upstairs. I didn't even have my own bathroom. Like it was so funny, and I thought that I wasn't gonna get it because I was just not in, like I was living with people I didn't even know. I moved in with random people on Facebook when I moved to Nashville. And
Wow.
so but I made it, and, it's funny, TV, they literally told me 2 days before I got the audition, they're like, "Hey, by the way, you're flying out in 2 days." So, but going back but it was full circle. I mean, because
Yeah.
it was filmed a year and a half ago. So, looking back, just the journey of how long I've been in Nashville now and since that debut and all the awesome things that have happened after that as well, and just the family and the friends I have made in Nashville being here, being there to support me, it was just like, "Okay, this is what makes this worth it." And it was just such a cool moment of like me looking back at myself then because I made that leap and the blessing that came from that. And then also just the blessing after and all the friends I've made here and just the cool things I've got to do. It's just been like just amazing. I mean, I have nothing but good things to say. I mean, I can't, it's awesome. Like, so awesome.
Wow. The song that you sang, was it that was the House of the Rising Sun, right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
What is that song about?
So a lot of people don't even know this, but that song is like an old song. They don't even know who wrote that song. If you go back and look at like 1930s House of the Rising Sun, it's like a blues. Somebody's like picking a banjo or, it's not
Really?
anything like, yeah. And
Wow.
so it's public domain. So, and what that means is they just don't know who wrote it. So I was able to release the song. So I did release it after the show. And I think honestly, I don't know how to say this on the podcast. I think it's like, it's not a great song. I think it's about, like, a man going back to, like, old bad habits, but it's just such
Mm,
this, like, cool, heart-wrenching song, and I've
yeah,
got, like, a deep, haunting voice, so it's just perfect for it.
you do. I mean, when I heard you sing, I'm like, that voice goes with this incredibly I mean, you look incredible, you are incredible, and then it's such a powerful, big, just strong voice. It's very soulful. Yeah, I had goosebumps. I'm like, "That's it, I have to talk to this girl. I have to find out her story." No, it's really great. And you also touched up on social media, and I think that's a reality for a lot of up and coming artists, and just really a lot of people out there trying to, build business. And I know, so I'm actually happy that you touched up on it and talked about how your song, some of the videos went viral. Could you go a little more narrow and talk about that a little more? I mean, you right now you have what, like over 300,000 TikTok followers?
Yes, on TikTok, yes.
And you've built, yeah, so you have an impressive online community. So what was that like? Like, how did you start? And what was that moment that it went viral? Like, what was that first video?
Yeah, so, I didn't even think about being viral. When I first started posting, it was just kind of fun, like it was different than full length YouTube. I was always intimidated by doing like a 20-minute video, but there was something about TikTok. I could just literally hold my phone and do something for 30 seconds. And
Yeah.
I just ate it up. I loved it. I felt like for me, I love the short form content. And so I just started posting, little clips of me singing, trendy songs or, things that were kind of popular at the time. And then I noticed, so I sang, I think it was the first one that went viral was a Beyonce song and it was trending. And so I think people were dancing to it. But what I did instead was I sang it, but then I sang it a cappella in my own way. I sang it like
Wow.
3 octaves down. And so I think that has stand the test of time with TikTok or social media in general. If you can capitalize on what is trending, but making it your own, and it's like your own thing, I think that's a great way for people to start in social media. And I noticed that worked for me. And so I think I've done
Mm.
that a lot throughout my social media career, I guess I would say. But
With that, obviously putting yourself out there, there's also I guess you could say the downside. You have the haters leaving negative
lots of
comments, and you know my view is like whenever I see something like that, and if it does hit my stuff, I ask myself why. So it I don't- allows me to grow through something, but then also deploying compassion and going, hey, you must have not been loved, in your childhood. But it's not easy, I'm sure. How have you been dealing with that?
I really think um I don't know, to me it's kind of funny. Like cuz I think about myself. I'm like I don't sit there and leave awful comments on anybody's post. I don't do that. So if people are doing that, they're spending the time of day to do that. They are
Yeah.
not busy enough or they haven't been, like you said, they have not been loved. They need attention, so they see somebody
Yeah.
getting attention and they want it. And so I love it. I'm like, start a conversation. And what's funny is I'm so glad that I have not taken it personally and have just like been open about it because one of the biggest hateful comments that I get is people they're trying to figure out if I'm a man or woman because of how deep my voice is. But what's funny is like I'm like, y'all, there's so many women with deep voices. This is really not that out of the
Hello.
ordinary. Yeah, hello. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But
That's funny.
like I'll tell you
Yeah,
this
and then you
recent
add you add the muscularity to it too. So yeah, welcome to my world too. Yeah.
Yep. Like, you take care of yourself and you got a sexy deep voice, they just don't know what to do.
Yep.
But,
That's true.
this is really cool. So and this is for anybody out there, if you are getting hateful comments or whatever, there's somebody else going through the same thing. So, I had a girl come up to me that it was a mutual friend of mine, but I've only met her, like, once or twice. Like, I had me and my friend, she's friends with her. And
Yeah.
so it wasn't like out of the norm for her to come up to me, but I really didn't know her that well. But she was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know." So I had found there was an article written about me and the caption was, "Is Abigail a transgender?" And it's that thing because they're that common of people trying to figure that out. And so I guess there was an article written about it. So I thought it was perfect content. So I made a video about me finding that and how I thought it was kind of funny. And so she came up to me though, and she was like, "Abby, by the way, I have been so scared to post my podcast because my voice is so deep." She was like, "As soon as I saw you post that video, I uploaded it." She was like, "I felt like it was okay if if you're acting like it's whatever, then I can." And so I was like,
Yeah.
"Wow, like that's why I do that." Like that is why because I'm not the only one. Like I'm not the only one. So I don't know. I would love to be a representation of deep voice females. I would love that. I do not care. So
Okay, we're gonna start that. I'm with you
yep.
right there. I'm with you right there, and yeah, you and I know we're kind of like just scratching the surface. We can have a lot of fun with that one too.
Oh
And
yeah, for sure.
yeah, just bring it, and I always tell people like you have a question, ask the question, and so, but you're right. The minute you start taking something personally, you're in trouble. You can, I think processing it, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt, but then to be impacting or changing your lifestyle, your belief system, form of expression, based on somebody else's opinion, you're screwed, so
Oh
that's
yeah.
good. I am so glad you're saying that. Awesome. Yeah, we will start a movement. Definitely count me in. Um, so,
Yes. We'll talk about that after the
hey,
podcast.
yeah, and I mean it. We're gonna be definitely, we're gonna get some women with deeper voices, and that is exactly what we should invite Cher, the
She well,
artist,
really, yeah,
and,
she needs to be the head of it. She oh my
yes,
gosh, I love Cher.
I do too. Oh my gosh, she's amazing. I know. We'll get Demi Moore here too.
Yep.
Trying to think who else, yeah.
Tony
Um,
Braxton.
yeah, yeah, there you go. There you go. We should really do that. Speaking of artists, like, who are some of the somebody that really inspired you, um,
Definitely
in
Adele. Oh, yeah.
Adele? Wow.
Yeah, Adele for sure. She definitely inspired the music taste I wanted to go towards. So,
Mm,
she's just
yeah.
powerful. She just has these powerful songs that, like, grab at you, and I love it. So I wanna do that through my music and translate my music that way to people, and they kinda feel a similar experience.
I'm wondering, what was that like for you now you were sort of, entered the world of celebrities, and you are one. What was that like for you when you met your first celebrity,
On the show or just in general?
just in general?
The first, like, celebrities I met have been, like, country artists because moving to Nashville. And it's funny, since I'm not, like, actually and y'all probably find this surprising because 'cause I'm from Alabama and obviously have a thick country accent. I've never been, like, a crazy country fan, so to me, it was kinda like, whatever, like, "What's up, Chris Young?" Or whatever, or, even, like, Miranda Lambert, I met her, like, I don't know, it was like it was cool, it was definitely cool. I know on this show, like, meeting people like Ken Young, though, and stuff, I, like, totally blacked out. I didn't even know what I said. Like, after I sang after I
Yeah,
sang and they were asking me questions, I had no recollection of what I said.
that's funny.
But if I
Yeah.
met, like, somebody like Beyoncé in person, I would probably fall on the floor.
Move on the floor.
Or Adele, like, it would be the same thing, I would black out.
Do you have any quirks? Like, I know many artists have quirks and routines, when it comes to creating music. What would be yours?
I'm like the ADHD kid in the studio. Like, when the song's going, I'm immediately like, "Ba-da-da-da-da-da." I'm like I'm spitfiring ideas, lyrics, and I say goofy stuff. I'm just a goofy person in general, so,
Love
you
it.
know, I'll tell people I farted if I did, you know what I mean? And they're like, "Abby,
Yeah.
what?" Like, I'm goofy like that. So I would say that's, like, me, like, that's my quirk. Um, but yeah, hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's great. You have a fun light side about you. I think that's so important. What would be your pet peeve? Like about people, what's something that triggers you?
Probably people who like entitlement a little bit. You can just tell people who think they're better than people. I just cannot stand it. I'm like, ugh, it makes me feel icky. So
Yeah.
probably that. More of a
Yeah,
personality type of thing.
humility, right? It's important.
Yeah. But I'm
Yeah.
not bothered by much. People smacking or whatever. I'm never, people are like, "Oh, I hate smacking." Stuff like that doesn't really bother me. It takes a lot to bother me, I think.
Um, you know what? You really have paved your way just, by staying open and being driven and having that self-discipline. What would be advice to somebody who's trying to break through, in this field and maybe something that you had to discover it on your own? What would you tell them?
So sorry, we've got somebody backing up in the background. Um,
That's okay.
I think maybe a change of mindset of being scared of maybe the unknown or failing. I think it's you should change your mindset to being like it's awesome to fail or awesome to put myself in an uncomfortable position because then you learn so much about yourself. I think people are
Mm,
scared where it's like really you just need to flip that mindset where it's like, wait, no, because the more times I fail and try and I'm gonna figure out instead of just, being in this paralyzed state and staying and being scared and then you never figure it out and you're always wondering what if. So don't let yourself wonder a what if, So whatever that is for you, if you want to go be a chef or be this and that. And I know things can keep people back, whether that's money or, there's certain real life things that can really keep somebody back. But I think there's always a way. So if in whatever situation you have, what is that one person that you know that you're scared to reach out to because you don't feel
mm,
like you know enough or anything like that? I mean, there are ways people want to help you more than you think you do. Did
mm,
I say that right? The people want to help you more. Yeah, they really
yeah,
do. I mean, you just
yeah.
closed mouths don't get fed. So I think you just need to change your mindset about if you are, and maybe they're not, but if someone out there is, change that mindset that it's good to fail, not bad. So
Wow, that is so powerful because I think we are genetically wired to be prepared for war and the worst, and there's so much focus on the negativity. We talked about the haters, but there are so many amazing, amazing people, and all you have to do is ask. You're right. So, and people willing to help, they're willing to share. Yeah, that is a great, great advice. Look where it got you. I mean, you just ask. It's as simple as that. And um,
yeah.
yeah, no, this is great. So, last question. I'm really I could talk to you forever. Well, so what's next for you now?
Yeah, so releasing music. I am really in the studio a lot and trying to figure out what my next releases are gonna be. I'm pretty sure my next song is gonna be a song called People Don't Love. So y'all stay tuned for that. And yeah, just keep on keeping on. I mean, my goal, of course, is to, be signed and start touring. And so I'm really just always looking towards that. And also I didn't really touch on this. I love writing for other artists too. That's something else I want to do this year is
Really?
get more in touch with other artists. Yeah, my favorite thing to do is write in the studio. That's like my number one thing.
Hmm. Do you have I don't know if I asked, theme? I mean, what's the process of writing a song for you? How does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's kind of what I said earlier. I'm like, I don't even know what it is. I just at any moment in time, I have a song in my head always. I'm a walking musical. Like, I'm annoying. I'm that person that's always singing something, like, I don't know, it's just immediate. It depends too, like, if somebody starts playing guitar, I automatically hear what I feel like the song needs. If I hear piano or a track, I feel like I hear exactly what it needs. Or sometimes I'm just singing what I hear in my head. It's just constant. I don't even know if that
Can
makes
you
sense, but it's just
No, it
constant.
does. Can you, like, go cold turkey? Can you, like, sing something right now, like a sentence? Like, could you? On the spot?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, we're gonna do it for real.
Yep.
I don't know why I feel this. Like, I don't know. I just like
Oh my god,
I
was it
don't know how I feel. What? Like, I don't know. I'll just go until I feel like something sticks.
wow. That is like young Aretha Franklin right here. This is like the range is incredible. Oh, you see, okay, I don't have hair, but if I had well, maybe there's a little hairs are standing up right now. Seriously, like, I know they're there. Wow. Wow, 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 this is great, like, I'm super excited, Abby, thank you so much for sharing your story, and I'll definitely have you back. This is so
Yes,
awesome,
please.
and you're an inspiration. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's just so great to meet you. I'm glad Cat connected us.
This is Yeah, no, this is the mutual. And hey, to our viewers and listeners, to dive deeper into Abigail Virginia's music and story, make sure you check her out on social media. Links will be posted below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel, Beyond the Bar Podcast. Follow us on all social media channels. And until next time, stay curious and stay inspired.